The freedoms of the air are the fundamental building blocks of the international commercial aviation route network. The use of the terms freedom and right confer entitlement to operate international air services only within the scope of the multilateral and bilateral treaties that allow them. This freedom of the air were formulated as a result of disagreements over the extent of aviation liberalization in the Convention on International Civil Aviation of 1944, known as the Chicago Convention. While there are about 9 of the freedom of the air, the 5th freedom traffic rights being granted some foreign airlines into Nigeria, which is intended to enhance the economic viability of those airlines' long-haul routes, and of course to implement the Yamoussoukro decision, but viewed by local airlines as potentially unfair competition, is our subject on the program. So glad you could join us on Aviation this week on Channels Television. I'm Bukola Joe Oketumbi.
The freedoms of the air are described as a set of commercial aviation rights granting a country's airlines the privilege to enter and land in another country's airspace. The use of the terms freedom and right confer entitlements to operate international air services only within the scope of the multilateral and bilateral treaties that allow them. There are 2 groups of these freedoms, and another group known as beyond rights. The first 2 freedoms are known as transit rights. They concern the passage of commercial aircraft through foreign airspace and airports. The other freedoms are about carrying people, mail, and cargo internationally. The 3rd and 4th freedom are called traffic rights, giving room for basic international service between 2 countries. Away from the 4th freedom to what is called beyond rights, the carriage of traffic between and sometimes within countries that are foreign to the airlines that operate them. The 5th freedom allows an airline to carry revenue traffic between foreign countries as a part of services connecting the airline's own country. It's a right to carry passengers from one's own country to a second country, and from that country to a third country. An example of a 5th freedom traffic right is Rwanda Air flight from Kigali in Rwanda, from Dubai to Lagos, Nigeria, and onwards to Accra, Ghana. It's a right many think tramples on the business of local carriers.
Signing BASA is not, I'm the big brother, I want to help you. We need to help ourselves right now. As you say, if the canoe is leaking, you concentrate on the canoe to block the leakages than putting people on board the canoe. Because if not, the canoe, the people they are bringing, and those inside it, everybody will sink.
At least 11 foreign carriers are currently operating an additional 30 flights into Nigeria weekly, and are operating into different airports across the country. ASKI Airlines has 3 extra flights to Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Ethiopian Airline alone operates 21 flights weekly into Nigeria, making it the airline with the highest number of flights into the West African country, while many say this is unfair competition for local airlines. The Minister of Aviation does not agree.
In the spirit of the Yamoussoukro and also the single African markets, it is important to allow players who have the capacity to participate. And then, of course, this will grow our own industry as well. We weren't given the same opportunities to non-African carriers. And then, of course, what is more paramount is the service itself. You know, the Ministry of Transportation is set up to provide the service. So service is extremely important. Where there is none, where our own does not have the capacity to do so, we would not force passengers to go and suffer.
Before now, airline operators have faulted the prevalence of 5th freedom rights granted some airlines and have called for a review. although some other principal actors say this has led to increased intra-Africa city pairing and passenger traffic in the West African sub-region.